it'll be 11:30 going forward now, or just?
No, I had just had a faculty meeting today, so we can stick with 11 to 12.
So you need a yoga practice too.
All right, so we're gonna start today in child's pose. And this is considered the pose of universal rest. So you can take your knees wide and then have your big toes together towards the back of your mat. And then you can fold forward. So you can stretch your arms overhead, rest your forehead on the mat. You can keep your arms down at your sides if that's too much of a stretch on the arms. You can take your hands behind your back and hold your forearms. And if it's a strain for your forehead to get to the mat, you can make a pillow with your hands. You can stack your fists. You can rest your forehead on a block. There's always options. So because of the position that we're in at the start of practice, as you draw breath in, expand through the ribs, and then even breathe into the back body. And our theme for today is inner peace and presence. Yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self. And just a reminder that even though your role as a new mom can be very overwhelming and encompassing, you're still your same person. Take this opportunity to set an intention for your practice today. From our child's pose, we're going to rise up onto hands and knees. So again, the shoulders stack over the wrists, the hips over the knees. We spread wide through the hands. We press through the tops of the feet and then draw up through the abdomen. Reach forward through the crown or the top of the head, and then you're lifting through your sits bones. So a nice long spine. And we'll take 3 rounds of cow and cat. So on an inhale, drop the belly, look forward. And then exhale, press through the hands, round through the spine, drop the head. 2 more. Come back through tabletop or neutral spine. We're going to step the right leg back about the level of the hip. Toes point down towards the floor. And then we're going to cross the right leg over the left. Pause here for a moment. And now we're going to sweep the right leg out to the right. So feel the right hip and the core engage. And then we're going to lower the right foot to the mat. So you're trying to align your big toe with your left knee as best you can. Turn the toes out on the right foot. And then take both hands over to your right leg so they can come to your leg, your ankle, or your foot. So a nice deep side stretch to the left side. And now we're gonna rainbow walk the hands over to the left. So we're gonna walk the hands in the shape of a rainbow or an arc. So we pass through the top of our mat and we walk the hands all the way over to the left. So now we're gonna align the left hand about the level of the left knee and then draw the right arm up to the sky. Maybe the gaze follows. So this is a variation of side plank. And from here, we're gonna stand up on the left knee and then take the right hand, so palm is facing forward, to the inside of the right leg. Sweep the left arm to the sky and then side bend over to the right. We're gonna rise back up to standing on the left knee. Keep the right foot where it is. Sweep both arms overhead. And we'll come into a variation of camel pose. So you're gonna take both hands to the back of the top of your pelvis or your hips. And then draw your shoulders back. And maybe take your gaze up. So just opening through the chest. We release the tension in the pose. We take the hands back down to the mat. We sweep the right leg back behind, coming into our three-legged tabletop. And now we lower the right knee next to the left. We reset our tabletop. We step the left leg back. We cross it over the right leg and hover for a moment. And now we sweep the left leg out to the left. And now we lower it to the floor. So again, the left toes turn out. They align somewhat with the right knee. And then we take the hands over to the left leg, ankle, or foot. And now we start our rainbow walk to the other side. And come into our modified side plank. We stand on the right knee, and then we side bend over to the left. We rise back up to standing, sweeping both arms up. And then we take the hands to the low back area, draw the elbows in, shoulders back, look up. We release the tension in the pose, lower the gaze, we come back down onto the hands, sweeping the left leg back. We lower the left knee next to the right. So a little core work here. So again, we're gonna take the right leg back behind. We're gonna inhale, lift it a little higher. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale back behind. Exhale down the middle. Inhale back behind. Exhale to the left elbow. Inhale back behind. Lower the right toes to the mat. Press through the hands the right toes. Pick up and hover the left knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the left knee, lower the right next to the left, press back to child. We rise up from child's pose. We come back through our tabletop. We step the left leg back behind. Inhale, take it a little higher. Exhale, knee to left elbow, sorry. Inhale back behind. exhale down the middle. Inhale back behind. Exhale right elbow. Inhale back behind. And now we set the left foot down. Press through the hands, the left toes, pick up and hover the right knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the right knee, lower the left. Sit your, go ahead and cross your ankles. Sit your hips behind your heels. Take your legs out in front. And then reach for a block. So continuing on with some core work. So we're going to take the block long skinny way between the thighs. We're going to come into half boat pose. My hands are cold. So you're going to sit up nice and tall and then float one foot, maybe stay here and squeeze the block, or maybe you float 2. Maybe stay here. Maybe your hands reach to your feet. Maybe you take your arms overhead. Breathe. We lower the hands through prayer. We lower the feet to the mat. Keep the block where it is, but go ahead and lower onto your back. So take your feet close to your body. So like that bridge setup, you should be able to reach your heels with your fingertips. Still squeezing the block. Take the hands and interlace them behind the head. Open through the chest for a moment. So shoulders, arms, elbows all touch the mat if that's available. We're going to inhale. On the exhale, you're going to lift up through the head, the neck, the shoulders. So you feel your low back pressing into the floor. You're squeezing the block. You're breathing. We release and lower down, separate the hands, and we come into goddess arms. So the elbows are about the level of your shoulders, your palms are facing the ceiling. And now take your knees and stack them over your hips. So your feet are up. So again, we're squeezing the block. We're taking up space between the low back and the floor. So even though we're not moving, we're active. And now we're going to drop the knees halfway to the right and then hug the knees up towards your right elbow and hold. Come back through center. And then dropping the knees halfway to the left and hold. Come back through center. We lower the feet to the mat. We release the tension in the low body, set the block off to the side. And from here we're going to meet in tabletop. So we're going to come back to hands and knees. So you can rock on your back a few times or simply turn to one side. Coming back to our tabletop pose. So we're going to take the hands a little forward of the shoulders and maybe a little wider. And then we're going to curl the toes, pick up the knees, and press back to downward facing dog. And then go ahead and pedal out your feet. So you can bend one knee and press the opposite heel towards the floor. So just beginning to wake up the back body. Come back to your down dog, and we're going to take 3 rounds flowing from down dog to plank. So after your next exhale, We're gonna inhale forward through plank. So lower the hip, shift forwards, shoulders over the hands. And then exhale back to your down dog. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. And now we look forward to the hands, bend your knees, walk, step, or jump your feet up to your hands. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold forward, bend your knees. We're gonna rise to stand, sweeping the arms overhead. Exhale the hands to prayer. So we're gonna go through some half sun salutes. We're gonna take it a little differently than last week. So you're gonna take your left foot, step it behind your right foot. We're gonna inhale, sweep the arms overhead, interlace all with the index fingers, and then on your exhale, side bend over to the right. Inhale back through center, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. So now we uncross the left, and now we take the right behind the left. We inhale, sweep the arms overhead, interlace. Exhale, side bend up. Inhale through center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. So we uncross. So we'll take a more traditional with our feet in Tadasana. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. So we'll build on this. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant your hands on either side of your feet, step your left foot to the back of the mat, and then lower your left knee to the mat, coming into low lunge. So in low lunge, you can take your pelvis into a posterior tilt, and when you do, you'll feel your left thigh turn on. And we're going to take 3 variations of twist. So we're going to lower the hands through prayer, and then take your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Sweep your right arm back over to your left hip. So variation 1, and we're trying to draw the right shoulder back. We unwind from this twist, sweeping the arms overhead, so we come back to our low lunge. We lower the hands through prayer, and now we take the left elbow outside the right knee. And here you're trying to stack your elbows. We unwind, coming back through our low lunge. And the third variation is to fold forward, taking the left hand inside the right foot, turning to the right, and reaching the right arm up to the sky. Maybe the gaze follows. We lower the right hand outside the right foot. We make space for the left foot. We curl the toes, pick up the knee. So this is that runner's pose. And now we step the left foot forward. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. We'll go right into the other side. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant your hands, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Lower the knee. Come into your low lunge. we lower the hands through prayer, we take the right hand outside the left knee, sweep the right arm behind the back, twist one. We come back to our low lunge. We lower the hands through prayer, come into twist two. Come back through our low lunge. And move into twist three. We lower the left hand outside the left foot. We make room for the right. We curl the toes on the right, pick up and straighten the knee. We step the right foot forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. So we're gonna move on to crescent or high lunge. And we're gonna come into temple, which is that goddess pose. We're gonna make a little journey around our mat. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant your hands, step your left foot to the back of the mat. Find your stability, sweep your arms back behind, and then inhale, rise to crescent. So again, we're trying to stack the right knee over the ankle. You can bend the back knee if you like. So we're gonna start our journey to the left. So we're gonna lower the hands through prayer, and then turn both feet to the left. Then turn the toes out, heels in, bend through the hips and knees. So this is a variation of temple pose. We're gonna turn to the left again and come into crescent, facing the back of the room. And now we're gonna change direction. So now we turn to the right, which brings us to the left side of the mat, coming back to the temple pose. And now we come into crescent facing the front of the room. We lower the hands through prayer to the floor. We step the left foot forward. So again, we'll go right into the other side. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step the right foot back. So give yourself a little space between your feet so that you have some stability. And now we sweep the arms back and then forward, rising up into crescent pose. So now we turn to the right, coming into temple. We move right again, coming into crescent facing the back of the room. And now we move left, back through temple. Left again to crescent facing the front of the room. Again, we lower the hands through prayer. They come down and frame the left foot. We step the right foot forward. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. So we'll come into mountain pose. So feet are hip width apart. We root through the four corners of the feet, engage the large muscles. So engage the hips, draw up through the abdomen, float the arms away, palms face forward. So you're reaching down through your feet, but you're reaching skyward through the crown of your head. From here, we're gonna sweep the arms overhead, palms now face one another, so tall mountain. And you're gonna shift your weight into the right, and then draw your left knee up to your chest. So this is one-legged mountain. lower the left foot next to the right. We're gonna take a breath in tall mountain, just kind of reset. And now we shift the weight to the left, draw the right knee up towards the chest. We lower the right foot next to the left, coming back through our tall mountain. And now we lower the arms to mountain pose, so it's keeping that tension in the arms. And then releasing, letting it go, so shaking out through the arms and legs. So we're gonna go through a standing sequence, and we're gonna come into half moon, which is a balancing pose. So you can have a block available, and when we get to it, and, you know, standing, if this is new to you, you can come to a wall. All right, we're gonna go through a sequence to get us there. So we're gonna inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant your hands, step your left foot to the back of the mat. Again, keeping a space between your feet. We're gonna rise up into crescent. From crescent, we're gonna move to warrior one. So we're just gonna swivel the left heel in and down. So you may feel a bit of a twist. And now we're gonna open to Vira 2, or warrior 2. So the right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back, your right heel aligns with your left instep so you can adjust your feet. And keeping the legs active, so you're pressing down through the floor, squeezing them in towards one another. You're not just kind of hanging on ligaments, but keep your lower body active. And now we turn the right palm up, knee back and surrender. So right arm overhead, left hand lightly to the back of the left leg. So this is a side body stretch. We'll come back to our Vira 2. And we'll move into triangle. So we're gonna straighten the right knee. So again, the legs are squeezing in. We reach forward, hinge at the hip. The right hand can come to the leg, the ankle, the foot, or a block. The left arm reaches up to the sky. Maybe the gaze follows. So this pose is about taking up space. If your gaze is up, turn it down towards the floor. Rise up to Vira 2. So now we're gonna bend that right knee. Coming back to our warrior 2. Again, we're gonna surrender. And this time we're gonna come into side angle. So we'll come back through Vira 2. And then again, reaching forward. So you can take your right elbow to your thigh, or your hand can come down to the floor or a block. Left arm reaches up towards the sky or overhead. If you're reaching overhead with your left arm, take it up to the sky. And from here, we're gonna come into our half moon. So if you are using a block or not using, grab a block, and you're gonna place it about a foot or so in front of and to the right of your right foot. And then you're gonna straighten your right leg, and then take the left leg takes flight. So legs are maybe at right angles with one another. You're reaching actively through all 4 points of your limbs. From here, we're gonna come back to Vira 2. So we bend that right knee, float step the left foot to the back of the mat. And again, we surrender. We cartwheel the hands down to the mat to frame the right foot. We spin to the left toes, coming into runners. We step the left foot forward. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant your hands, step your right foot to the back of the mat. We rise up into our crescent. And now we swivel the right heel down and transition to warrior one. We open to warrior two. So left arm forward, right arm back, left heel bisects the right foot. We turn the left palm up, lean back and surrender. We come back through our warrior two. And now we straighten the left knee. Squeeze both legs in. We reach forward, hinge, and come into Utthita Trikonasana, or triangle. So creating space from fingertip to fingertip, opening through the chest. And if your gaze is up, turning it down towards the floor, bending the left knee, we rise up through Vira 2. And again, we surrender. So we counter our left side body stretch with side angle pose. So we come back through Vira 2, or pass through, reach forward again, left elbow to thigh, hand to the foot or floor, right arm skyward or overhead. If your right arm is overhead, take it up towards the sky, grab a block. And now we float up into Vira, or half moon, straightening the left leg. So the shoulders stack, legs maybe at right angles. And now we begin to bend the left knee, float step back to Vira 2. We surrender once more. And now we cartwheel the hands down to the mat, framing the left foot. We spin to the right toes. So it brings us into runners. And now we step the right foot forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold, fold. Inhale, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. So we'll take one round of sun salutation, which will include plank, so it's like 12 poses. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands. You can jump or step your feet to plank. So traditional plank is you're on your toes, but you can also lower your knees and take a modified version. And then we're gonna lower chaturanga. So if you're on your toes, you shift forward, hug your elbows in, slowly bend and lower all the way down to the mat. Take your hands down towards your sides. We're gonna change it up a little bit and come into Salabhasana. So we're gonna inhale. On the exhale, lift up through the head, the neck, the shoulders, maybe the arms, the hands float. And if you'd like, you can float the feet. So this is a really nice pose to strengthen the posterior chain. And we'll release and lower everything down to the mat. The hands come back to either side of the chest. We curl the toes, press back up to plank, so plank on your knees or your toes. And then you can pass through tabletop and make your way back to down dog. Look forward to your hands, bend your knees, can jump or step your feet. You can walk them up. Inhale, halfway rise, flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. I think we can do one more of those. Yeah, maybe. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant your hands. You can jump or step your feet to plank, plank on your knees. You can come into tabletop. You can do whatever you want. And then lower chaturanga. Float the hands back. We'll come into our Salabhasana. Back to our plank pose. To our down dog. Look forward to your hands, bend your knees, walk, step, or jump your feet. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. So we're going to come to the wall with our mats. And we're going to take the short edge of the mat to the wall. We're going to come into legs up the wall pose. So the hardest part is getting into the actual pose. So you sit with your hips like right up against the wall, and then as you roll onto your back, you take your legs up, and then maybe adjust so that your hips are right against the wall. I'm just going to pause here for a moment. Recall the intention that you set for yourself at the start of practice. You're going to take your hands behind to the back of your right thigh, and then draw your leg away from the wall, keeping the knee straight. From here, we're going to come into a figure 4 or threaded needle shape. So we're going to take the right leg, cross it over the left. So the right ankle is above the left knee to the outside. And then very gently, you can add a little pressure to the inside of your right thigh, pressing it away towards the wall. Release the pressure, uncross the right leg, stretch it out. And now we change sides. So the hands come behind the left thigh, draw the leg towards your face. Release the tension in the pose, take the left leg over the right. Adding a gentle pressure. Releasing the tension, uncrossing the left leg. And then to come out of the pose, you're gonna lower your feet to the wall, bending your knees. And then turn to your right side. Maybe your head rests on your right arm. And from here, we rise up out of our pose. We take our mats back to our space. We come into standing towards the top of the mat. We're going to take 3 rounds of half salutations and we're going to come into chair pose. So I like to put my big toes together and keep a little space between my heels. And the reason is if I stand with my feet separated and when we add a twist, inevitably the knees separate and one comes forward. But if I keep my feet together, it's a little easier to twist and keep my knees parallel. But again, it's choice, it's what works for you. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, put your weight in your heels, toes are light, and then sweep your arms overhead, Utkatasana, powerful pose. And now we straighten the legs, exhale the hands to prayer. So that was 1 round. So the next 2 will have a twist right and then left. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, sweep, rise, Utkatasana, arms overhead. So we pause. And now we lower the hands through prayer. And like we did earlier, take the left elbow outside the right knee or thigh. And again, we're trying to stack the elbows. So twisting, drawing the left chest forward, right chest back. And now we unwind from the twist, we come back to our Utkatasana. And now we straighten the legs, exhale the hands to prayer. And you've probably figured out why this is called powerful pose, right? All the activation in the lower body. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise, flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, sweep. Utkatasana. And now we lower the hands through prayer. We twist left. We come back through our chair pose. Back to stand. So now we're going to move down to some seated work. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise, flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step the feet back to down dog. Lower the knees to the mat, crawl them forward. Cross the ankles, sit the hips behind. Stretch the legs out. So this is Dandasana, seated staff pose. So take your left leg, draw it in, placing the left foot to the inside of the right leg, below the knee, above the knee. If you're really open in your hips, you can come onto the thigh. So we're going to come into head to knee pose. So the legs gently press in towards one another. The right foot is as if you're standing on it, so the toes point up. And we bring the pelvis forward so we sit tall. Inhale, sweep the arms. exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. And then on your exhale, lower your hands and hold whatever you can. So you can hold your leg, your ankle, your foot. You can use a strap looped around your foot. Lots of options here. So we get a hamstring stretch on the right. We get a hip opener on the left. So lots of our yoga poses are multitaskers. We're going to release and rise up to sitting. We're going to transition to half Lord of the Fishes pose. So you're going to take your left foot underneath your right leg to your right hip. So now your left knee is forward facing. And then you're going to take your right leg and you're going to stand it up and stack it on top of the left. So the feet are aligned with one another. If you were to bisect one, it would bisect the other. And then we sit up nice and tall, and we're going to twist to the right. So the right arm reaches behind. So this is kind of like a kickstand to just help you straighten the spine. The left hand can just wrap around the right leg. You can take your elbow and wrap. You can take your elbow to the outside, whatever works for you. So again, like we did earlier, trying to draw that right shoulder back and open through the chest. Really important, thinking about posture in a nursing mom or a mom who's carrying kids all day. We're going to release and unwind. And we're going to come into Baddha Konasana. So we're going to take the bottoms of the feet together. We open the knees wide. So you decide how close your feet are to your body. So the closer they are, the more stretch you can get to your inner hips. But maybe today's a day where you keep the feet away from the body. And maybe you're more interested in just folding forward. So there's always options. You could, if you wanted, in Baddha Konasana, you could take a block between your feet, and then maybe take your head down towards the block. Lots of ways to practice. So from here, we're going to change sides. So we're going to stretch the left leg out and take the right leg to the inside of the left, again below or above the knee. We're going to sit up nice and tall through the pelvis. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, hinge, fold forward. And then lower the hands and grab a hold. Release and rise up to sitting. So we'll build our half Lord of the Fishes. We'll slip the right foot next underneath the left, drawing the knee forward. We'll stack the left over the right, sit up tall, and come into your twist. to either Baddha Konasana, what we just did earlier, or variation is Tarasana, where the legs are more in a diamond shape. And again, maybe you're sitting tall, maybe you're working on that hip opening, or maybe you're just pulling forward. We're going to rise up to sitting. We're going to come into one more seated pose, and using a block and a strap, or at least I need a block. So we're going to come into cow face. So cow face is where we stack the legs and wrap them around each other. So without a block, my knees are really separated. So by lifting my pelvis, it draws my knees together. So I'm just more comfortable and better aligned with the block. So if my right leg is my top arm, or top leg, I'm gonna take my left arm to be my top arm.
Sorry, can you say that again?
So if your right leg is your top leg, then your left arm is your top arm. So put your strap over your left shoulder. And then take your left arm up, bend the elbow, grab a hold of the strap. And then take your right arm, sweep it behind your back and grab the strap. Now some of you might be able to connect your hands and don't need the strap. And then others of us will need our strap forever. And again, it's good. It's all okay. So the legs are squeezing in. So we have internal rotation in the lower body, and then we have external in the upper body. So in this pose, you're still trying to draw the shoulders and elbows back to open the chest. So again, thinking about our nursing moms, moms who carry children, carry everything else. Just a postural correction, some strengthening. Release the tension, and now we build the pose on the other side, so unwinding the legs. And then coming into the pose on the other side. You might find there's asymmetry in the body, like maybe your hands get a little closer, one side compared to the other. And it's very natural for our bodies to be asymmetrical, particularly because we have, a hand dominance. Release the tension in the body, release the pose. So I'm going to set your strap off to the side, but hang on to your block. We're going to come down to our backs, and we're going to come into a supported bridge and shoulder stand. So lying on your back with your hips and knees bent, feet flat, close to the body. So you decide the height of the block. So there's 3. So there's low, there's middle, and then there's high. I don't really recommend high, so low and middle. And we're gonna press through the feet and lift the hips and then slide the block underneath the top part of your pelvis or your sacrum so that you're stable. So in our supported bridge, we can just kind of release our muscles. From our supported bridge, we can transition to supported shoulder stand. So the hands can come and hold the block through the transition. And then you can draw your knees towards your chest and then take your feet skyward. So if you can, legs straight, bottoms of the feet reaching up towards the ceiling. And then once you're there, you can again take your hands to either side of you. And then to come out of the pose, again, the hands hold the block for stability. We bend the knees, drawing them towards the chest, lower the feet, coming back to our supported bridge. And then releasing completely, so pressing through the feet, lift the hips a little bit, slide the block out, lower them to the mat, draw your knees in, grab a hold. Gently rock side to side. Come back to center. Release the right leg and stretch it out, lowering it towards the right corner of your mat. Release the left leg, taking it to the left front corner of your mat. Arms slightly away from your body, palms facing up. You could also come back to legs up the wall pose. You can come back to the reconstructive bridge, where you separate your feet hip to the edge of your mat, allow your knees to drop in. We return to stillness. We return to our inner peace and presence practice today. Another quote to share. In the midst of movement and chaos, keep stillness inside of you. Chaos and parenthood. Breath in, breath out. Keeping that internal focus. Being present in your practice. becoming aware of your physical presence, taking your thumb and touching each finger, adding movement through the feet. And finally drawing the legs up, placing the feet flat on the mat, again turning over to your right side, pausing there for a few moments. Gently pressing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Thank you for joining me in practice today. Namaste. Om Shanti, 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 peace. Thank you, ladies.